Hey guys, hey, this is Nay. Follow me on IG, Periscope, Twitter, Spreaker, and support me on Patreon and Nabob on YouTube. Don't forget to like this video, share this video, comment respectfully, and subscribe. For all sweatshirt inquiries, go to zenthoughtbrand.bigcartel.com. Now, let's talk Atlanta. What's poppin', guys? Okay, so I'm gonna try to make a video right quick before my wife gets home and we get ready to go run a couple of errands. But I wanted to give you all a quick video about so far what I feel about Atlanta. The first thing I want to talk about is the traffic. If you all been following for a while, then you all know that I worked in DC, Georgetown to be exact, and it was always like sickening traffic. And riding from like the DMV area, DC, Maryland, Virginia, to Atlanta was really good until I got to Atlanta. That's when the traffic was sickening. It was like, I don't know, like I spent like an hour, like the ride could have been like 9 hours easily, even with me stopping, because I have to pee, like, I don't know, every chance I get, because I'm a bathroom type person. Well, not bathroom, but I drink a lot of water. And I ain't got time to be holding it, because y'all know I'm almost 50, and I ain't got time to be holding my pee for nothing or nobody. When my bladder start talking to me, then huzzy, I listen. This huzzy listens, right? So easily, the ride here could have easily been 9 hours, but it ended up being like 10 and a half hours because of the traffic that I experienced when I got here to Atlanta. And it was just unnecessary traffic, just unnecessary. And but when I got here, I'm settled in. We're living in an area where everything is really convenient. Like the malls are right there. We're in like an area that's considered to be Lower Buckhead. And let me say this about the area, because where I worked at, it was a doctor there. He was a white doctor, real cool doctor. And I told him where I was living, and he was like, "Oh yeah, that used to be my old stomping grounds." I was like, "Yo, stomping grounds? What?" It just sounded like strange, because I'm like, wait a minute, where we live at is a really, really good area. And then when I got here, I was like, wife, is this regentrification that we're in? And y'all know I'm in my feelings, because DC is basically being taken away from us, and we can't, and we can't do anything about them. Which, if any of my DMV people are listening to me right now, then you know also that Capitol Hill used to be all black. Being my grandmother was one of the first black Americans to own a home on Capitol Hill. And then I want to say about the 80s, it's when the white folks started coming in, and it wasn't nothing that we could do about it. They raised the taxes, and after years went by, black folks couldn't afford to live there anymore. So now we're going to say that for the black homeowners in Capitol Hill, they're able to maintain their homes because their homes are paid for, and all they do is just pay the taxes, right? But here, it kind of made me feel a certain kind of way, because I was like, baby, we're part of the problem. And her thing is, babe, we're brown, so it don't count when you come up and you're brown. I said, okay, but it still kind of make me feel a certain kind of way, because I'm like, I'm not with regentrification, because if I was back home, I would be butthurt about it. But that was something else. And another thing I want people to know also, pretty much where we're living now, people think that when you come here that you're going to be paying less rent. pretty much the rent that we pay here is just about the same rent that you would pay back in the DMV for a luxury condo. So, people that are like, oh, you can live good, cheap, that's not true. And it might be just where we are, because I think like $1 million homes back home you could probably get for like 500,000, maybe $750,000 here. I'm not sure, but pretty much the where we live, it's just about the same rent that we would pay if we was back home in a luxury. Now, we probably wouldn't have the amenities that we have here, but like anybody back home, then you would know like living on the harbor is like a really, really big deal if you live on a harbor. Oh, the sun is setting. If you live on a harbor, it's a really, really big, what's that? When it descends? What is it? I don't know. But anyway, it's a really, really big deal to live on the harbor, right? And just about the same rent. And I know this because my wife's best friend lived on the harbor. I can't think. Why can't I think of the damn harbor name? It's out there in Fort Washington. If y'all know, put it below. But it's just about the same rent. They pay the same rent. So it's really like becoming to a point where it's not any difference. But so far, it wasn't an uncomfortable thing where they look at you funny because you are a gay couple. The white folks are really friendly. Not that white folks aren't friendly back at home, but it's different, It's like a different thing from what I've experienced. Like pretty much they go out their way to talk to you. And I don't know if it's because we're in a certain area. I don't know, you know. I can't really say how other areas outside of where we are is. I can't say. My wife is talking about I'm not going to be allowed to go outside of certain areas by myself. Like I think she said it's a Walmart that I'm not supposed to go to, that I have to go to the Walmart in perimeter. Maybe if I get more acclimated, because I'm not green, y'all. I come from hood areas, but I think because I'm not used to this hood. Okay, guys, I don't have no idea what the hell I'm talking about. Forget all that BS I'm talking. I don't know. I don't freaking know. But what I do want to take a minute or two to talk about in this section is to talk about if you all are my regular naysayers, then you know that I lost my aunt last year. Not to lupus, but to another ailment. And my sister also is a lupus warrior, right? And y'all know my wife is a nurse, and she is also a graphic designer. So what I'd like to talk about now is how my heart aches or breaks for the lupus warrior, because I suffer from migraines, and lupus warriors and migraine sufferers both share the same sentiment when it comes down to people understanding them. Because when they can't see you bleeding or broken or crying in dear pain, or people don't understand it when they can't see it. And if you all know anything about lupus, then you know lupus attacks your organs. It can attack your skin. It can attack your heart. It can attack your joints. It can attack, any organ within your body. Like with Trick Daddy, it attacks his skin, so you can see it. With Lady Nika, it attacks her skin, so you can see it. But my sister, on the other hand, it attacks her liver. With my aunt, it attacked her heart. So when you can't see what's going on inside of a person, people lack sympathy for you and your disease, you know? Like, just to give my little sister's story a little bit, we had no idea what she was struggling with until she was diagnosed in college. But the little girl had been, well, she's not a little girl, but the young woman, well, she ain't young no more either, but my sister didn't know what was going on with her. Could you imagine? All you know is that you're swollen all the time. Your body parts hurt all the time. And people don't understand when you say you don't feel well. People just look at you and be like, well, what's wrong with you? You look fine to me. So to have to deal with that your whole life, and then my wife came up with the idea of the Purple Heart, because if any of you are know anything about the military, the Purple Heart is given to the wounded soldier, meaning that you have went to battle and you was wounded in battle. That's why I call them lupus warriors, right? Because I'm telling you, people don't have sympathy for and understanding for people the way for lupus warriors the way they do breast cancer or heart disease, which is another problem in our family also. We do have heart disease, but because my sister and my aunts were directly affected by the disease, it means a lot to me. So at any rate, you'll see my wife came up with the idea for the Purple Heart. And so you see the pictures below. And that's why, I think they're going to have a big walk down here. My wife was like, we should go to the walk in May down here in Atlanta. We should. And if it allows, I would love it if my sister would come down here and do the walk with us. But anyway, guys, if any of you all are interested in the Purple Heart sweatshirts, t-shirts, anything, just hit the link below, because like I call you all are the lupus warriors. And just know that my heart goes out to you all, and I truly understand your battle. Now remember this, the same people you meet on the way up are the same people you meet on the way down. Naysayers, my lupus warriors, Patreon loves. Have a good one. Deuce.